arms are a little bit tough because you don't have other structures to see where the knees and the elbows are. So I would skip popliteal, although if you wanted to know, it's supposed to be popliteal. If I'm asking you femoral vein, I'm asking you on the femoral vein very distinctly. Okay, so let's go up to an arm right here. So for the arms, you guys need to know median cubital, and on this model they've made it as a V, but as we looked at on the cadaver, sometimes it just travels straight across like this. So median cubital vein. And then median cubital vein joins two vessels together. This is the cephalic vein right here. It's called cephalic because it travels up over the head of your humerus. And then this one right here is your basilic vein. And this one here in the middle, this great big one, is your brachial vein. I think that's what we're looking at. We can't really tell up here, but this is approximately where the axillary region is. So this would be approximately where the axillary vein. And then where the cephalic vein joins in, you have the subclavian vein. And then we can go to the abdomen. So as we're following the femoral vessels up, they become, and again, you can't see the inguinal ligament, so you can't really tell where it divides. But here, if I go right up to, I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see the split. If I go right up to where I can see the split for the internal and external iliac arteries, then I can assume that really close up here, this is the internal iliac vein, and this, sorry, I said that backwards. This is the internal iliac vein, this is the external iliac vein, but I would never put it like right here, so you can't really tell if it's femoral or iliac. So those guys join up to the inferior vena cava. So a lot of the vessels now are going to be similar to what we had with the arteries, but there's a lot fewer veins joining up to the vena cava because that mesenteric blood is going to go into the hepatic portal system first. So let's look at the hepatic portal system. So remember the weird IKEA chair. It's going to have the spleen on one end and the liver on the other. And then these two veins that are running up from your intestines. So you have your inferior mesenteric vein join up with the splenic vein right here. And then the superior mesenteric vein joins up, and you can't really see the division, but it joins up to form the hepatic portal vein, which you can't really see because this model is fairly small. Aside from that, we have these little guys right here. These are your gonadal veins. So you have the right one that joins up with the vena cava, and the left one right here that joins up with your left renal vein. And let's see, that. Then we just have the vessels of the heart, the veins as they go into the heart. So I'm going to use one of the heart models as well. So we have the inferior vena cava right here and the superior vena cava right here. The superior vena cava can be relatively long on some of the models, but you have this brachiocephalic vein on the right side where the subclavian vein and your external jugular vein join together, and that's really short. It usually just, like with this model, it just drops, boom, right into the vena cava. The left brachiocephalic vein is quite longer because it has to travel across the heart in order to reach that superior vena cava. So here we have the external jugular veins and the subclavian veins on both sides. These little...
Wait, internal?
Internal.
Yeah, what did I say? Did I say external? Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to remember it to tell you guys. This is the external jugular vein right here. And it drains from the scalp. These are your internal jugular veins. You can see it's actually coming from the head. Brachiocephalic trunks right here, brachiocephalic veins, sorry, superior vena cava. And if we turn this around on the posterior portion of the superior vena cava, this is where your azygos vein, or your azygos vein comes in. And you can also see the azygos vein is quite long, has a hemiazygos and an accessory that you guys don't have to know, but it's these vessels that travel up the posterior abdomen and thorax. So this here would be your azygos vein as it's dumping into the superior vena cava. And that is about it.